Guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are staying safe. I hope you guys are well. Guys, I've seen some people online pushing the narrative that Teofimo Lopez was robbed last night against George Kambosos. Me and my brother both watched that fight. And let me tell you something. There's no way that Teofimo was robbed in that fight. That was a close fight. But I think everybody's in agreement that Teofimo lost that fight. You know, Teofimo's dad and Teofimo, if they honestly think they won that fight, then they're like, I don't mind Teofimo. And to be honest with you, initially I didn't mind his dad, but now it's kind of like, it's been a bit crazy with some of the stuff that they've come out with, you know, and I think they need to sit down, go back to the drawing board, and realize this boxing game, they're fight. You know, Teofimo's a fighter. He knows this game is hard. But to start believing in your own hype and start thinking you're this, that, and the other because you beat Lomachenko, and start underestimating, because let's be honest, he was totally dismissive of George Kambosos. He thought, like, as soon as he hits Kambosos is gonna fall, and that didn't happen. And we've got a group that we talk about boxing, and my good friend Greg actually said that Teofimo landed 4 right hands in the first round. As soon as he didn't get any reaction from George Kambosos, he had lost the fight there and then. Because that's all he was looking to do. He was looking to land a big shot and wipe him out. That's all he was doing. There was no game plan. There was no, like, let's set up the shots. Let's get behind the jab. Let's try to, soften this guy up. No, it was just loading up on big shots. And George Kambosos was the right winner of that fight. If he didn't get the decision, it would have been a travesty. It would have been a robbery. In my eyes, people say, oh, no, it's close. No, it would have been a robbery. George Kambosos won that fight. He won that fight. Simple as that. You know, to say that he won 10-2, or even to have that kind of mindset, they need to go back and watch that fight. There's no way anyone, could say that he won 10-2. That's just crazy. It was never that wide. It was never that wide a fight where, 10-2. Come on, give me a break. And like I said, I think sometimes they've got to sit down and they've got to go back to the drawing board. Teofimo's dad saying that he's going to move up to 140, wants a fight at 140, then wants to fight Josh Taylor. Josh Taylor's not going to be interested in a fight with Teofimo Lopez, because Josh Taylor's going to think, what's that in it for me? What's there in it for me? Nothing. Because really now there's nothing in it for Josh Taylor. What has he got to gain? He's got everything to lose. If Teofimo ends up beating him, which I don't think he can, right? Josh Taylor's lost everything. He's just lost to a guy that's lost to a guy at 135. So Josh Taylor might as well move up and fight. Before, the Lopez fight was a big fight. If Lopez had won and Lopez decided to move up to 140, that was a big fight. But what does Lopez bring to the table for Josh Taylor? Teofimo said, what does Josh Taylor bring to the table apart from the belts? What does Teofimo Lopez bring at all now? Because he's lost a lot of reputation on that fight. Because one loss don't ruin your whole career. Depending on how he bounces back. Canelo lost and he came back. But Canelo wasn't delusional. Canelo knew that he had to go back to the game plan. Go back to the drawing board and work on his weaknesses and work on what he got wrong. And he did that and he became a great fighter. Is Teofimo now going to be someone like Wilder that's going to make 1,000 excuses and come out with that we lost? And people that believe in their own hype, right, generally can't take defeat very well. People that believe in their hype, that think they're the next thing since sliced bread, generally struggle to take losses. And hopefully when Teo goes back, look, because Teo has got talent. He's not a bad fighter. I don't think he was as good as what he thought he was, So he needs to go back to the drawing board, just like Canelo. Canelo probably at the time wasn't as good as what they thought he was. But he went back and worked on his weaknesses, worked on his game. And look at what Canelo's developed into. The same thing Teofimo Lopez needs to do if he wants to reach the top. Because, like I said, he was getting hit a lot last night. He was loading up on shots too much. And I thought Teo was a much better boxer than what he displayed last night. But the problem is, although Teo beat Lomachenko and Teo beat Komi, you got to look at the Komi fight. It was one big punch that knocked Komi out. The Nakatani fight, he struggled. Lomachenko, he fought a good fight, but that was one fight. I know he knocked Komi out, but that again, he landed a big shot. But when you look at this fight, you look at the Nakatani fight, you can clearly see there's weaknesses against boxers. When he comes up against boxers that can box and move, it seems to me like he has a lot of trouble, and he's loading up on that big right hand that he's looking to wipe guys out with. That becomes very predictable, because early on in the fight, he was fast and sharp, and he landed those right hands on George Kambosos. But as soon as George Kambosos took those shots, Teofimo kind of was like, okay, what do I do now? What do I do now? You know, and that's when you see how adaptable a fighter is when Wilder was the same. When Wilder landed those shots on Fury, although Wilder was able to hurt Fury, and listen, Lopez was able to hurt Kambosos, but sometimes there's fighters that don't stay down. They get back up. Then what have you got? Then what have you got? And Teofimo showed, although this was a close fight, Teofimo showed that he wasn't really able to adjust like I thought he would be able to. He wasn't able to, you know, take himself to that next gear. He wasn't able to adjust and, you know, maybe go down to the body more. You know, he wasn't really able to adapt. And these are things that they have to work on, not just a big right hand or loading up on big shots, because Teofimo Lopez came out so fast. He was looking to end the fight in a round. But as soon as he realized this guy's a lot tougher than what I think, and there are people that are going to be, especially if you move up the weight classes. If he moves up the weight classes, fight guys like Josh Taylor, do you think you're just going to hit him with one punch and they're going to fall? It doesn't work like that. So, listen, I get his dad is very passionate and his dad wants his son to succeed. But hopefully they look back at this fight and realize where they made mistakes, and hopefully they can correct those mistakes for the future, because Teofimo has got talent. He has got talent. I know he's going to be written off and he's going to get a lot of criticism. He's going to have to put up with that. But there's no way Teofimo won that fight. No way. In a million years, Teofimo won that fight. And I've had a few people say to me, oh, Teofimo won that fight, this, that. Come on, please, stop it. He did not win that fight. You know, George Kambosos won that fight. I haven't heard anybody, or I don't know if you guys have, I haven't heard anybody, like experts or anybody, that said that Lopez won that fight. I haven't heard anybody. Everybody had George Kambosos winning. Close, but winning. You know, even the DAZN had him up, you know, and to be honest with you, Lopez is the star. But there's no way that I felt like he won that fight. And even the judges, like I said, Lopez is the more politically connected fighter. Apart from one judge, I don't think it was a split decision. I don't see how you couldn't give that fight to Lopez. But for me, like I said, Kambosos was brilliant. Kambosos was brilliant. I was so impressed. He had heart, great chin, great speed, great movement, just resilient. You know, even the ability after getting hit, he stayed calm. You know, even when he was under pressure in the first round, he stayed calm. Unbelievable by George Kambosos. Unbelievable stuff by George Kambosos, man. I got to give the guy massive props. That guy is a warrior. He's a warrior. And the way his dad spoke so passionately in an IFL TV interview, you know, that's what dreams are made of. That's what George Kambosos really wanted this. Look, sometimes when there's an underdog, they all talk big. Yes, I want to do this. I want to do that. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. When it comes to the fight, they freeze. They don't perform. You know, and that's why generally when we hear the underdog speak, sometimes we take it with a pinch of salt. But sometimes there's an underdog story like this, where you get an underdog like George Kambosos that is willing to lay everything on the line because this is his dream. This is what he's wanted from a young kid. He's envisaged this. He's dreamt of this. And he wants to, and he doesn't, there's nothing that's going to get in his way to stop him reaching his goal. And that was George Kambosos last night. There was nothing that was going to stop him. No right hands, no left hooks, nothing that was going to get in George Kambosos' way to win this fight. And that's why we all love boxing, because there's nothing better than an underdog story. Not just in boxing, but in sport. There is nothing better than an underdog story. Nothing. beats an underdog story, because everybody wants the underdog to win. Everybody wants to see underdogs do well. Everybody wants to see the people that we don't believe are top level or that good to do well. And George Kambosos yesterday has actually shown he's not an underdog. He's a legitimate world level contender. And now he's going to have it off, because everyone's going to want to fight him, because everybody's going to look at him like he's an easy touch. But you better believe it. Gervonta Davis, Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney. This is no easy touch. This is a guy that is capable of beating all of you guys. All of you guys. And he's got a heart of a lion. He's got fast hands. He's got great movement. He's got a great chin. You know, this is a guy with a heart. He's got a heart of a lion. And like I said to you, I personally think he's capable of beating all those guys. He's got great boxing skill. This is a guy that's very experienced, sparred hundreds of rounds with Manny Pacquiao. And let's be honest, if you're a sparring partner of Manny Pacquiao and you've been around Manny Pacquiao for so many years, then believe you me, you can fight. You can fight, because Manny Pacquiao ain't going to have somebody in his team that can't fight. And that's not going to be able to give him good work. So, like I said to you, George Kambosos has now catapulted himself into the big time. He deserves a load of respect. He deserves a load of credit. This guy is a warrior. And like I said, he is no easy fight for any of the lightweights. Any of the lightweights. Unbelievable performance, an unbelievable fighter. Respect to George Kambosos. Teofimo needs to sit down with his team, go back to the drawing board, see where he's got wrong, and come back. And he will come back stronger, because Teo has also got a heart of a lion. You know, Teo showed me a lot there last night. He was cut. He's not a quitter. Teofimo Lopez has also got a heart of a lion, and he will come back. But sometimes, like I said, ego sometimes get in the way. Sometimes you need to not believe in the hype and just get back to basics. Get back to what got you to the top. Have that underdog mentality. Don't look at yourself as a superstar. Look at yourself as an underdog, like George Kambosos. And Teo will be back, without question. But leave your thoughts, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And guys, remember to please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.